Dawson Rider Review. Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie Legacy figures. So just like we got 5-ish inch Legendary Ranger figure, or Legacy figures, all these names, for the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, even though we only got half of them and then some of them started showing up in like clusters and then some online. It was very confusing. The distribution on those was terrible. But anyway, just like that, we have actually gotten some for the Ranger suits from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, which is really exciting. We never really got figures for the movie that were accurate. Back when the movie came out, the figures we got, although in the movie packaging and whatever, was simply just metallic suited versions, which, you know, they ended up using metallic armor in the show, but still, outside of maybe sort of the McDonald's figures, we never really got anything very close to what happened in the movie. So years and years later, we finally got this. So I was actually pretty excited for this. So this is the first wave. We have Ivan Ooze, the Black Ranger, the Red Ranger, and the Pink Ranger. Hopefully the second wave is released just normally, where they all come out at the store at the same time, instead of doing whatever the hell they were doing with the other one. I seriously never even completed that collection. Anyway, I've been going on about nothing for about a minute. Let's do what we always do and take a quick look at the packaging. The base, like, front of it is pretty much the same on all of them. As you can see, it is based off of the movie colors and the movie packaging that we used to have, which is really neat. We have the picture of the 6 helmets there, Toys R Us exclusive name. You got their name down there. It'll just say whatever figure's name is, obviously. Original 1995 movie edition. And then you got the movie logo, and then up here it says the power is on, which was the slogan, which is really neat touch. And on the back, you get a little bio, and then, you know, it shows collect them all. So the next wave will include blue, yellow, and white. So hopefully those happen. I mean, come on, they're going to release Tommy. You know how they do. And then they have a little story bio up here. You can't fully see it on camera for just general story, and then they each get an individual one. But we're going to do my favorite and slash least favorite game is Dawson Reads. So this is the story that is on the back of every box. This is the generic story. It says, when Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa released Ivan Ooze from an egg in which he had been trapped by Lord Zordon by Zordon for 6,000 years, he quickly heads out to destroy the command center. With the command center destroyed and the Zords dying, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers travel to the distant planet to find the new powers to help them defeat Ivan Ooze. They meet Dulcia, who bestows upon them, the power of the Ninjetti. The team of superheroes heads back to Earth to use the new powers to save Zordon and the world from Ivan Ooze and his evil plans. So we pretty much all know that. Then you get a little bio here for Ivan Ooze. It says name, battle gear, and then like all the different languages. Battle gear, poople, battle gear, poople, damn it, man. Battle gear, purple ooze. You know, that's right. Ivan Ooze is imprisoned for 6,000 years in a hyperlocked chamber by Zordon, but Lord Zed releases him. He promptly wrecks the command center and destroys Zordon's time warp, making him age rapidly. The Power Rangers must find a new power source to stop Ivan from destroying the world. It sounds less intimidating when his name is just Ivan. Like without the ooze. I don't know why. Like, as if ooze is intimidating. Anyway, all the packages are the same except for the little bio on the back. Here's Adam's. It says, Adam is a handsome, shy, and humble, somewhat mysterious. Adam calls upon the Black Ranger powers to command the Frog Zord with quick form and courage. I read this as toy, so I read it as like he calls upon the powers of the frog toy. I was like, well, he's got the frog gun from the Ninja. And then you got Rocky's here. It says Rocky is likable, charismatic, and good-looking. I like how they all mention their looks. Let me restart, because I just totally distracted myself. Rocky is likable, charismatic, and good-looking, the kind of outgoing guy everyone wants for class. President. Alright, I didn't need to know that. Rocky calls on his Red Ranger powers to command the mighty Ape Ninja Zord with wisdom and strength. I don't know why I added the... We should just do Dawson Reads all the time. It's so boring. Alright, now we got Kimberly. Kimberly is bright and beautiful, again with the looks. To be fair, we don't want to see a bunch of uggos. Popular in school, she loves shopping, gymnastics, and getting attention. Kimberly calls on the Pink Ranger powers and commands the Crane Zord with grace and speed. Does she, though? So, they all tell us like about their quality. They're like campaign posters for Rangers. Anyway, I actually want to see the other ones now. Those are kind of entertaining. Anyway, we spent almost 5 minutes on that. This is just redonkulous. Alright, let's get started with Ivan Ooze here. All right, we did get some Ivan Ooze figures back in the day. I think there was a large 8-inch scale one, maybe a regular scale one. The only one I had is, if anyone remembers, they had like those bendable figures, which were just kind of rubbery and you could bend their arms. I had one of those. No idea where it is now, but I did have it. Overall, look-wise, it's a pretty solid figure. He's kind of stuck in angry face. I do kind of wish he had a swappable head. Some of them are going to have swappable heads. Red does, I believe. Yellow should, for their gimmicks. But it would have been neat to have a different facial expression for him. This one's certainly not a bad hair sculpt. Well, hair sculpt too, but head sculpt at all. But I feel like it doesn't completely look like him, and I kind of would have wanted, I don't know, a resting face on him. I don't know. But detail-wise, for like the rest of them, pretty solid stuff. Good paint job, good little details on him. Those little drapes that are hanging down from his arms are actually off of him when you get him, and you take the hand off and then slide it on here. There's like a little groove, and you'll see what to do. But yeah, it's pretty basic, but detail-wise, they did a good job. Now, articulation-wise, he's very basic. I mean, he does have fully articulated arms. You know, you can go in and out, up and around, all that stuff. You can bend at the elbow. He's got little ball joints on his hands here. As you could see when I was messing with his head, you can move it around 360. He, like, makes sense to do that because he's evil. Up and down, pretty solid range of motion. Now, this right here is all one solid piece, so all he has down here, the little feet that move like this, I don't know what that does. Like, what's the purpose of that? He looks trapped, like he's been cemented. But you can sort of pull this apart, but it's all one solid piece there, as you can see. Now, I'm very conflicted about this figure. Like, I do like it, but for me, it's the weakest of the bunch. I mean, this being one solid piece here feels strange. I don't know why. I mean, if they had made him, you know, fully articulated, I don't think I would have been posing him doing a crazy action pose, because that's not Ivan Ooze's style. But still, I'm just not a fan of this one solid piece. It's still a decent figure, but I actually am not as huge a fan of this figure as I thought I was going to be. I just wish he had maybe a different face or a swappable one. It's like not terrible, it's just maybe it's just me, but I'm a little bit disappointed by this one in particular. As I mentioned, some of them have some accessories. This one actually has a swappable wand hand, you know, the wand he used when he was destroying the command center, which is really neat. Which is why I kind of would like a different face on him. He didn't seem to have this complete angry face on his face when he was doing that. But it's neat to have a swappable hand. Very cool. Alright, but now moving into the Rangers is where my complaints pretty much end. I have one small complaint that's more of a personal preference, but while I wasn't a huge fan of Ivan Ooze, I am a huge fan of these figures. I know that there's some people that like them and some that don't, but I personally really like the movie suits. I think they're really cool, I really like them, and they really did a great job of capturing them. The detail on here is just great. The head sculpt on all of them looks fantastic. Now here on the chest coin we have the Mastodon Power Coin. This here's my only complaint, like I said, which is more of a personal preference. I think these kind of, you know, stick out, and I think there's a missed opportunity here to make them swappable, so I could take this out and then put the frog coin in. That would have been really neat. There's a bunch of figures that do stuff like that, and if I had a choice, like, you know, if I was controlling it, I would have them come with an Ninjetti coins. Mainly because, you know, there's been so much focus on the Dino coins and everything these last few years. It would have been cool to have the Ninjetti coins to differentiate them, and the back of the boxes specifically mention their Ninjetti powers, considering that's the Zord powers we actually see in the movie. So if I were them, if they had to do one or the other, I would have gotten Ninjetti. I don't think it would have stopped the nostalgia crew from buying it, being like, oh my god, that's a frog, because I mean, that was the main part of the movie, but I think it would have been best to be swappable. Now down here you do have details on the Morpher, so you can actually see there is a Mastodon sculpt, which is neat, and I suppose they maybe could have included a swappable Morpher as well, but I would have been totally fine with them totally genericifying this Morpher and just being gold without any sort of differentiating quality, so that we could have swappable up there, or simply just make it the frog. But that's really my only complaint, and is more of a personal preference. Other than that, detail-wise, these look great, they got the armor look great, the head sculpt great. The articulation on these is fantastic. In and out movement here, 360 movement. You got your single elbow joint here, swiveling at the fist. They some of them have less accessories than the others. His only accessory is what all of them have, which is a holster and the little sidearm weapon. The legs, you have a nice ball joint here. You get swiveling here. You get a single knee joint, and then you also have this foot joint here, which can swivel and move back and forth. So you got some really good articulation there, and I want to mention, like, on all three of these, well, I guess all four if you count Ivan Ooze's little feats, but they I don't have any loose joint problems on them, which is really nice. They just feel really, really solid. The articulation on Rocky is the same, so I'm not going to bother going over it. But like I said, no loose joint problems. Yet again, they did a really good job on the details. I think they captured the helmet really nicely. They got the Tyrannosaurus coin there, as you can see. I think that's really neat that you can see them, that they actually took the time to differentiate it. But like I said, I just wish that it was the ninja coins. But very, very nicely done. We're so zoomed in here. Can't even handle it. And then he does come with a swappable head, which is his little special function, which was a little like scanning visor, which is a really cool touch. We didn't get to see all of them. It would have been cool, although I don't think they would have done it and don't see why they would. But in I think it was at a panel, Johnny Young Bosch said that there was either a deleted scene or a deleted concept of the Black Ranger having one where it was like ears that popped out for hearing. I don't know if they ever filmed it or whatever, but he did mention it. I mean, how does this toy not come with a hypothetical accessory that was mentioned at that panel that one time? But still, it would have been cool to see all of their abilities I'm assuming even if they didn't go through with it, they might have come up with concepts for all of them. All right, now we got Pink Ranger here yet again. A really good job on the helmets. I think hers is one of the most distinguished. They all look different than the show, but hers, I think it's maybe these or something to it. I don't know. There's something about Pink Ranger's helmet that was always a bit more distinguished from her show counterpart. Then you got the pterodactyl power coin there. The pterodactyl differentiation there. She comes with the Thunder Whip, which is her signature weapon from the movie, which is really cool. Oops, sorry about that. And then, like I said, they all come with their little sidearm. Her that was really weird. Her articulation is the same, except for just being a bit of, thinner joints for her lady arms. But all of that is the same there. The little added foot articulation really makes a difference in some poses. But yeah, all the same, just, girl version. All right. I'm now realizing that I have not made any movie references in this review, but I'm just going to count the MMPR movie as the movie reference because it's a movie. And yeah, movie reference. So overall, with the exception of Ivan Ooze, who I'm a little bit disappointed by, I think these are fantastic figures. I know that there's some MMPR fatigue. I definitely feel it too, but I'm also excited for some of the stuff we're getting because now we're getting into territory of past season 1 and neat stuff like this, because we never got these. So if you're a fan of the movie at all, or the suits, or anything really involving them, I can definitely recommend the Ranger figures. And Ivan Ooze, if you never got him, like I said, he's just kind of... I don't know. I don't know about him. I don't know about my feelings for him, okay? Just don't ask anymore. But the Ranger figures are fantastic. In my opinion, probably the best Legacy figure you've gotten, or that's only out of 2 waves, but the best 5-inch scale Ranger figures we have out there right now. They're just really well done, very nicely detailed, nicely articulated, solid quality, no loose joint problems. Definite recommendation on these so far, and let's just hope that the rest of them get released normally and are much easier to get a hold of. But anyway, until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrebels.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, it's Dawson Ryder, signing out.